Hey everyone, welcome back to the Real Estate Rundown here with Marcie, where we meet with top professionals in our real estate industry, and we got a show prepared for you today. Stay tuned. Welcome back everyone to the Real Estate Rundown with Marcie, and today I have another top professional for you, and I'd like to introduce you to Ruben. Hi Ruben.
Hi Marcie, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, thanks for being here. So Ruben, please, I want to share with my audience who you are, what you do, and a little bit about more how you service in our real estate community.
Beautiful, well thank you so much. So yes, my name is Ruben Sanchez. I've been in real estate for about 20 years now. Wow. When I was 5, I started. Originally from Texas, and I came to Miami to do my master's program, and I just stayed doing real estate, which has been very rewarding. I'm a real estate broker. I actually have my own company by the name of Domi Real Estate Advisors. We're located in downtown Miami, and I manage a team of about 15 agents.
I want you to, share a little bit about what you do, what type of clients that you share, what do you look for, and how you help clients here, investing in life events, purchasing and selling, right?
Yeah, for sure. So as a broker, I do general real estate, meaning I can do residential, commercial, and I'm so glad to say that I just recently hired a business broker. So I'm expanding our services, which has been great. On the stuff that you and I have been able to work with, which has been a lot of residential, we have a very unique program in which we service the client from the beginning of the process before they even think about buying real estate, and then all the way through and servicing the post-closing. Because I think that's something that's very unique to us or to myself, is that my clients end up being my friends. So it's always very, very awesome to create that type of relationship.
Yeah, and that's so important post-closing. We're so involved in their lives during the whole process. Buying sometimes could take 8 months to finally pick out your property.
Wow, yeah.
Or the selling factor, you have a listing and you're so involved every day within their lives engraved, and usually after it closes, people are like, all right, it's closed, but they become your friends.
They do become my friends, and it's like you said, you deal with them on such an important moment in their life, on such a big milestone, right? Whether they're upsizing or downsizing, and you're in constant contact. And then all of a sudden the transaction finishes and it's like you disappear. No, that's not the way we like to do business, and we find that it's a lot more rewarding when we work for the relationship as opposed to the transaction, because the money's gonna come anyway.
Yeah, no, I love it. A lot of our business is word of mouth and families. You did a closing for the cousin, then you're gonna do the sister, then you're gonna do the aunt and the uncle. And it's really how our community really grows with families, building a business. And it's more than a business, it's a service that we're passionate about and serving.
For sure, and in our market, at least here in South Florida, and particularly Miami, it could also be very investor driven, right? Maybe sometimes, which I'm sure it's happened to you, a lot of the times you don't even get to meet your client. It's just a relationship that you build over the phone or through Zoom or through Google Meet. Being able to understand the need of the client, whether it's a family, an investor, again, someone that's upsizing or downsizing, it's always very important and creates a huge success, at least in our practice.
Yeah, and that's so important. You brought the investor side of it. Building that trust with people that are investing here, whether they're locals or non-locals, it's so important to giving them that educational thing to your client that you do. You have the expertise, the background for it, and it's someone that they feel comfortable with and working with.
I agree 100%. And I think it's very important because a lot of the times, when I joke about this now, but I would say about 60 to 70% of my business is in another language. Yeah. And it's like, okay, writing in that language, interpreting in that language, and then translating a lot of the times in that language. And the team that we build, a lot of the times has to also, speak that way, in that language, because you are educating, if it's a foreigner, then you're educating the foreigner and how to bring their wealth here to the US and be successful at it. When
you speak a language, when people are working with money, so oftentimes they're educated, they do speak the language, but they want, they want that comfortability, especially when you understand what country they're from, how to move money around, how to bring it here. It makes them more comfortable and safe when you do speak the language and help them.
I agree, and it's important. But yeah, back to your point, most likely they will know English, right? Because it's a global language. Again, that extra piece of building the relationship with the client, that's what builds that trust, in my opinion. Everything else is intrinsic also, because you as the real estate agent on this side, for example, we are the ones that most of the time have to create the team to help that investor or that buyer that's coming into the country to invest. So that dynamic, for example, between us is also very important for the success of the transaction and the relationship.
Yeah, you're more than a real estate agent. Like you said, you're a broker, you're a team lead. You lead a team of real estate agents who in their own right is their own expert in what they do. And that's great to mention because you could really service any type of client that's really looking for real estate.
Well, that, and also I was doing this course with Miami-Dade County called the BizHack program with the Downtown Development Authority,
Yes,
I think, and Commissioner Higgins. You had to create an avatar at the end of the course, right? And I was very confused sometimes because I was like, okay, I understand that my client is the buyer or the seller, but my client is also the real estate professional because I am a broker, right? So I have to constantly be thinking about both fields, and it's so interesting to be able to see both because they are both my clients, right? But here I understand we're talking about the buyer, the seller, the consumer, which is great.
I want you to share with our audience, you've been doing this a long time, so I'm sure you have thousands of stories.
Yes, real estate is not unique, as you know also.
Yes, we have thousands of stories. But when you want to share with our audience, whatever that represents to you, an easy one, a difficult one, that would be, something that was an experience for you.
Okay, so yes, we have a few, but I do want to share, since we're talking, my last point was the power of relationships, right? And the ones that we built. I would like to share a story that we had together. And this was, if I'm not mistaken, we were closing very near the end of the year. And this transaction in particular, we had an issue with the association. And you and your team were very, very accessible all throughout, even on the holiday, because I think we were closing, or we were supposed to close on the 30th to the 31st.
Yeah.
And you were available. And to me, that is worth gold, right? Because a lot of the times there's so many parties to the transaction that they're not directly involved, but that availability could really make or break the deal.
Yeah.
Back to the point that we were making, power relationships, teaming up with the third parties that are part of the transaction and making sure that you trust them, and that trust is also relate to the client, is invaluable. So thank you so much for doing that.
Of course, I think that you represent an extension of our service and vice versa. When you have a level of service and when you're a person that wants to provide the level of service to your clients, you only can partner up with people that have that speak the same language.
I agree.
I want you to tell our audience how important it is to work with a good escrow and title company on a transaction.
Oh my God. Going under contract is like 5% of the transaction, okay? So I think it's always pivotal and very important for us to team up with a company like yours. Yes, title and escrow, right? But more than just title and escrow is the relationship, again, that we build, right? Because anybody can have a question in the process of the transaction, and having and teaming up with somebody that's knowledgeable, but not just about the law, simply because you have attorneys in place, but also understanding what the transaction does entail, and being knowledgeable. I think it's definitely a home run when we team up with a company like yours.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I want you to share with our audience, how can people find you? Where can they, search on social platforms for you if they want to reach out to you?
So I'm definitely on LinkedIn under Ruben Sanchez. That's RUBEN. I also have an Instagram, which I'm starting to create a little more content for, because we're also now turning into content creators, and that would be at the handle broker.ruben. My brokerage name is Domi Real Estate Advisors, and something that I want to share with you and the audience is that we're actually expanding, and now we're going to be doing developer services for foreign developers that want to bring their inventory into the US.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm so excited.
So hopefully we can team up more on those types of deals. So let's see what we can build.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.